How you doing, Daniel? Good evening.
Yeah, evening, Ahmed. How is it?
I know there's this belief in football that if you want to get the best signing, you must spend like 50 million upwards. But
Yeah.
as far as we're concerned, the best signing this summer is
Let me
Mazraoui.
take it out of Let me take out for your mouth.
Yeah.
Mazraoui. You know, in fact, if you ask me, in all of Europe, Mazraoui.
The whole of Europe, I don't go that far. I don't go far.
I don't care. I don't care. But man, like, no. Mazraoui has been like, and this it's like he gets better per game. With every game, he's sort of like
8 over 10. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of ratings, but I think that guy will give you 8 over 10 in every game.
No, I think I was looking at his last 7. His last 7 or 9 games, he has averaged not less than 7.
You see?
Yeah, not less than 7. That's like for and in those times he has played the right back.
The Ten Hag outers can be angry with Ten Hag, but if they should thank Ten Hag for bringing this guy to Manchester United. I know that yes, a lot of let's look at Mazraoui now. No, let's look at Mazraoui now. Let's look at. Yeah, I know that a lot of people don't like Ten Hag, but this is a player you should thank him for. 12 million, man, that's a big bargain. Big bargain.
And for the cost, 12 million pounds. For me, that's enough compensation for Anthony's cost. That's enough compensation for Anthony, really. But to be honest, like, man. You remember I was not so excited about Mazraoui.
Yeah,
to be honest, he's injury prone. Yeah, I know Elegbe Ayokule was he has always been, you know, a Mazraoui guy, right, from since over, if my memory serves me right, over 4 years ago. He has always been clamoring that Man United should get the guy, and I think it was from him I heard the Mazraoui first off before I began to look at him. I think about 5 years ago, thereabout. Yeah. So like now, you know, in Bayern Munich struggled with form, consistency, and injuries again. I was also quite unsure, you know. It's like, if you remember, my concern was not just him, also David's coming, but like, you know, the focus today is Mazraoui. But like, I was thinking, we have Luke Shaw, Tyler Massa out. We're thinking of David again, who is sort of like injury prone also, and then we're thinking Mazraoui injury prone. So like, what are we now doing? And then Lenny now picked up the injury at preseason. I was like, what is this? So like, but for him to now, you know, come into the team, you know, at the time that Manchester United is seriously struggling, like, to pick up points, you know, some of the best players, supposedly best players, are struggling to form. Manager, you know, the whole thing, there was chaos everywhere. You know, Mazraoui has sort of like come in, kept his head like, you know, very low, humble guy, just got about doing his business. You know, you watch him on Carrington during their training sessions. He's doing the work. Like I was watching.
Well, sorry for interrupting, but as far as we're concerned, but this is what they call daylight robbery. Man United robbed Bayern Munich.
And for me, right, I was about to say something before you caught me. Do you know he has made us not to even remember the name Wan-Bissaka? Like, this is not me trying to knock Aaron, but like I'm just saying, like, we have not sort of like even missed Aaron, if you ask me, because he has come in, he has sort of like somewhat like we had with Dele Blind. You almost can't beat Dele Blind. He's not the fastest man. He's not the most physical guy. But because of his awareness and position, ability to read the game, you know, his positioning, you know, when we are with the ball and when we are, you know, defending and all that, it makes it very difficult for you to sort of like catch him off guard. And then again, if you look at Mazraoui, we've had times where he has had to dash back, make those Wan-Bissaka-esque kind of slide tackles to save us in the Prem and even in Europa League. And that, like, we've seen him go forward, create last night, you know, the assist again. We've seen him sort of like go from right wing, cut into the midfield, play 1-2 quick passes, you know, even send balls diagonal. And so like he's been comfortable for me. Like he has played the right back, he has played the left back, he has now come on to play right wing back. And he played left wing back the other night. Like, so for me, it's a balance, really. He has even played the number 10, which, let's be honest, he didn't do so bad in Turkey as a number 10. He only misplaced 2 passes. not bad as a number 10, but then obviously, like, everyone was already Eric Ten Hag out, so, but, like, you know, that wasn't really so exciting for fans to see.
He's just a player that whenever you need him, tell him, okay, guy, I need you to do this for me. He will perform. He will do it for
And this is what I want you to do exactly. He just goes.
Somebody you can rely on. We wish United fans will be wishing now. They'll be like, wish we had 11 Mazraouis on the pitch. Because this is a guy
just like the days of Maron Fellaini and Ander Herrera. You always wish you had those kind of players, like 11 of them. And one name which is not popular among Manchester United fans, Romelu Lukaku also is that kind of player. He gives you everything you ask of him. Everything you ask of him, he gives you. You know, blood, sweat, tears. He drops it off on the grass. I know he's not the biggest name, you know, on the lips of Manchester United fans, but, like, you know me. I'm a diehard. Like, I mess with him every day. I mess with Romelu. Like, I'm a huge fan every day. So, like, for Mazraoui, 12 million quid from Bayern Munich. So far, for me, the best signing in all of the Premier League. I know, like, I took a bit far by saying all of Europe, but then again, I debatably, you could say all of Europe, really. But I'm talking top 5 leagues now. But, like, I just want to see Lenny Euro back and Maguire back. I want to see massive competition in that back 5, because we obviously know that Luke Shaw has Tyra Malache and Licha to fight on that side. And on this side, it's going to be Maguire, De Ligt, Lenny Euro, Lindelof. Well, for me, Lindelof is on his way out, though. And then on the right side, we're thinking Mazraoui, we're thinking Diogo Dalot, you know, we're thinking Ahmad. So, like, there's quite a lot of competition. So for me, which is quite very healthy competition, and I just hope it turns out for good. And one key factor will be the players staying fit, really. Because if the players don't stay fit, to be honest, like, we wouldn't be consistent, let alone even becoming a team in form. Yeah, really.
Okay. So we'll just say thank you, Ten Hag, for giving us Mazraoui.
Not just Mazraoui, come on, man. Yeah, but yeah. Thank you, Eric. Really, Eric didn't really give us or get in terrible players, to be honest. Like, he didn't get us. I think his woe just remains Anthony, and it's because of the price tag, which you can't pin on Eric. It's not Eric's fault. It's not Eric's fault. Yeah, I think he was to go for about 40,000 euros. Yeah, I think about 40,000 there about. And then, yeah, Manchester United delayed, you know, came almost at the eve of the the resumption of the Dutch, you know, season, and then Ajax is saying you have to compensate us because we have to go out now and begin to search for replacements, blah blah blah. Man, you doled out, I think, about 83 million or thereabout, like almost times 2. So, like, yeah, really, man, Mazraoui, like, bruh, like,
let's even talk about his technique. Like, that guy's technique, his IQ.
He's good. Like, do you know he dribbles? He's got this quick feet thing. I think he even did it last night, and he took off about 3, you know, opposing players, and then he drove wide and into the midfield and dropped the dish. Like, come on, man! And look at his touch prior to the assist, because he wanted to play wide. And it was like the opponents were trying to cut off, you know, his passing lane, and so like just did something. For me, I thought it was instinctive, but then again, it's really, it speaks of, you know, his type of player, his class or whatever goes on in his mind. We've seen situations where you think you're trapping him, and then he just pops into the midfield and create chances, and then, you know, so, like, and he's also good in this long diagonals, the Hollywood passes. He's also good in those passes. Also, we've seen him switch balls. You know, like, for me, he's a complete package. And to be honest, like, if we're able to pick a bit of consistency and maintaining these things, 7, 10, 11 games, we get that consistency, and then begin to think towards being in form, because you have to be consistent first, because before you become a team in form. And for me, if we get that consistency, I think there's a healthy competition. Him and Diogo, Luke Shaw, Licha, Tyrell, like, I just think there's massive competition in the middle of the park. I think there's massive competition. I'm just I don't want to be overexcited again, like I've maintained, but I'm just hopeful. I'm just really, really hopeful that because these players, they don't have a place to hide again. You can't tell me he's the coach any longer. Like, you don't have a place to hide again. So I think we're at the point where every one of them is going to be held accountable for whatever it is. And I'm very happy, like, Mazraoui for me
is the kind of player that the scouts, the Man United scouts should be looking out for. It's not all about spending 70 to 100 million on a player. Go and look for a player with good technique, good IQ. Like, this is somebody that knows how to play football.
And most importantly, personality. You have to, it's time we begin to sign personalities, sign character. Don't just sign players because they dazzle you on the pitch. If they are not hard workers, if they are not team players, then you don't need them on your roster. To be honest, Sir Alex Ferguson didn't play with the most technically gifted players. He always played with players with hearts. More like a mix of it. And I think Manchester United have to get back to that point. Exactly. If you look at Tottenham Hotspur, you basically just have players with, on paper, some of those players wouldn't even be playing for, some of the big stars. But like, you see the way they compete every day. You see some of the lads in what's it called, in Liverpool. They're not the biggest of stars. Like,
he beat Guardiola with one centre back.
Yeah. So if you take them out, if you take them apart, if you take them apart in pieces, you get to realize that, like, on paper, you sort of like place every one of them individually. On paper, they're not so heavy on paper, but you see what they do as a unit. So that's it. Like, for me, really, if Manchester United can consider going out for characters, for me, like, that's everything really. The earlier they begin to go for characters, the earlier the club will sort of like get into where it should be in terms of competing again and, like, giving us those entertaining games, really. So, like, fingers are crossed. I don't want to be overly excited. I just want to stay hopeful. Obviously, just hope that what we are seeing, the glimpses we are seeing now, is sort of like become something that will be consistent